At 8:15? Is that what that says? I mean, when I was pushing the buttons to say we're going to go live, it didn't give me the option of a time. That's bonkers. Well, we're here now, damn it, and we're going to have some fun. Because I said so. Anyway, welcome to the program, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is the Farzy Show. It's presented by MyBookie, mybookie.ag. You know, when you have company, sometimes you make in-game adjustments. And in the holidays, we've had company. So I've got these paper cups for espresso for company. You know, it's not like on Amazon you could get, I was looking for like 100. Apparently the smallest order was 500 for like $20 or something. So I'm still burning through them left and right. And espresso out of a paper cup, that hits different. For the people on the podcast, it's not like a Dixie cup where it's like a wax kind of cup. You know, the kind of cup that is going to melt with the espresso. No, it's just straight paper, just straight up paper. And yeah, these worked great for the espresso. They worked better for the limoncello after dinner. But, you know, I'll make the adjustments. You know, I'll struggle. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, happy Friday, everybody. Happy Football Friday as the Eagles are getting set to take on the Arizona Cardinals and Jonathan Gannon. And I actually went into the old computer and I went on to ArizonaCardinals.com and I watched the Jonathan Gannon press conference. Never get that time back in my life, but he was asked about his relationship and his time here in Philadelphia, and he gave all you guys all the credit in the world. Tough place to play. It's a nasty place to play. You know, fans are very passionate, but he said all the right things. There's nothing to poke at with Jonathan Gannon over his 2 years here in Philly. So everything's just hunky-dory as far as he's concerned. But he knows and expects you guys to come out, oh, baby, come out firing when he steps on a Lincoln Financial Field for a 1 o'clock kickoff Sunday afternoon. A lot goes into this one. We got some playoff scenarios we're going to go with. We're going to go with some NFC clinching scenarios with the Philadelphia Eagles winning this game. Hopefully the Cowboys, I'd just rather them lose. Look, yes, it's the double-edged sword here. Cowboys lose, then the Eagles don't. Then the Eagles can clinch the division. Cowboys win, they give the Lions another hit. So there's a couple of things to go over here as to whether or not the Eagles will clinch on Sunday afternoon, and whether or not the Cowboys will open that door for the Eagles to clinch Sunday afternoon, because the Eagles play, Sunday afternoon, and the Cowboys play Saturday. So they'll know at kickoff at 1 o'clock whether or not that door is wide open for them to win the NFC East for a second consecutive year, which is just unheard of, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get into that conversation. We'll get into Brian Johnson's conversation, because this is starting to creep up here, about Eagles fans not being quiet while the offense is on the field. And supposedly, the Eagles had to go into silent count because it was so noisy in their own stadium when their offense had the ball. Brian Johnson says that is untrue. That is untrue, but I know it's been a conversation with some people out there, so I want to either clear it up for you, or I just want to give you what the Eagles are saying about it, that they did not have to go into silent count because fans were so rowdy at Lincoln Financial Field. So we'll get into that conversation. Also, the overall communication of the Philadelphia Eagles doesn't appear to be great. One of the things Brian Johnson was asked about yesterday was Devontae Smith having some confusion with Jalen Hurts after his pre-snap read, potentially changing the play. He was also asked about just running the football, which is something that we enjoy. And he said it. And I hate when coaches say it, but he said it. You know, we called RPOs as like a run thing, and then we didn't do the R portion of it. We did the P portion of it. Okay. Then maybe not do that. Maybe if you want to try to balance things out, just dial up a couple of runs, baby. There's no need for the PO. There's no need for the O of the option part of it. It's just a run. Just run the ball. Just run the ball. And all will be right with the world. DeAndre Swift seems like he could be hitting another hot streak right now after the way he played against the Giants. You hope to keep that going against a team like the Arizona Cardinals and what they're going to be bringing to the table in this matchup. So that is where they're at as far as all this goes in Eagles and Cardinals land. Flyers got a nice win against the Vancouver Canucks. One of the best teams in the NHL. They took it to them last night, 4-1 out in Vancouver. 10 o'clock puck drop. Yeah, I caught some of it. Maybe that's why I almost set another record for late starts. But yeah, they were able to handle the business out there get another W for themselves. So I love it. I'm here for it. And we're going to walk you through it all here on the Farzy Show today. So let's get it started with Brian Johnson. One of the big storylines this week has been A.J. Brown's attitude. Okay. I understand that a lot of people are upset. A lot of people are frustrated. They're not winning games at the rate they were before. They don't have the NFC locked up. They don't even have the NFC East locked up. There are some frustrations with this team, and you can see it on the sideline with Nick Sirianni, whether he's talking to his defense or his offense. You can see that there is some things that just are off kilter with this Philadelphia Eagles team. So yesterday, Brian Johnson was asked about A.J. Brown's attitude, and he was tagged with that question, a follow-up question about the communication overall on this offense. Here's your offensive coordinator and play caller, Brian Johnson.
Really, that means nothing to me. I mean, I know the type of person that A.J. is. He's the ultimate competitor. He's somebody that's super trustworthy, that I have a lot of confidence and a lot of faith and a lot of respect for as a person and as a football player. And that'll never change. Like I said, I've known A.J. for a really long time, and he's as good of a person as you'll come across. And, I have nothing but good things to say about him. He's having a tremendous year. And, we just got to make sure that we continue to keep striving, keep growing, and, keep putting our best foot forward.
Devontae said after the game that one of the things that him and Jalen were talking about in the locker room was about improving the communication when Jalen's changing plays at the line. Can you give a little more into what the issue may have been there in that regard, or what it may be?
Well, I think, Jeff, communication comes in a bunch of different forms, right? So that could be verbal, it could be nonverbal. And I think, that communication is key, and that it goes so much to in terms of the operation because it is very fragile and it happens in such a quick amount of time, right? So once you put those time constraints on the communication, I think ultimately this is what it boils down to. It has to be clear, it has to be concise, and it has to be confirmed, right? So we just got to make sure that, everybody's on the same page, because these things happen in the very heat of the moment in split seconds, and you have to be able to get that communication through to get it operated the way that you want.
What gives me issue there is the A.J. Brown thing. I think he's just having a spat. He's not talking to the media this week, maybe because he doesn't want to say anything he'll regret. Maybe he just doesn't want the distraction. Whatever, it seems to be a distraction anyway. When everybody's being asked about, hey, but what about A.J.? We haven't talked to him. How was he doing? He's good. He's a competitor. Let's move on. I don't know what the problem is there. I don't know if it's targets. I don't know what the deal is. Whatever. AJ can certainly be the stereotypical wide receiver at times. A little dramatic at times, as we know. But the bigger thing there is the communication issue. We got into this conversation on Tuesday when I was referencing what we were talking about in the postgame show with Seth Joyner about the way the plays are called. And we talked yesterday about how we used to look at Andy Reid to Brad Childress to Donovan McNabb. Andy Reid to Marty Morningway to Donovan McNabb. And it just seems like cut out the middleman. Why are you calling a play three times? Once from the head coach to the coordinator to the quarterback to the team. Why? That seems. Meanwhile, there's 10 seconds left on the clock. You haven't even lined up yet. So for me, it just doesn't make any damn sense. When you're talking about clear and concise and being communicative, that is the opposite of that. But the Eagles seem to have a more streamlined way now than they did in the Andy Reid era. Well, Brian Johnson will call the play based on the game plan by Nick Sirianni. There'll be a couple of plays ahead of themselves, as most teams are. And then when they get to play into the quarterback can then look at the line of scrimmage, look what the defense is giving them, and then check to a different play, audible out of that to something else. It's at that moment that communication seems to be a little bit of a break there. Instead of it being from the sidelines to the quarterback, it seems to be from the quarterback to his receivers or his running back, or even to his offensive line. If that's a problem, then good Lord, that needs to be corrected as soon as humanly possible with 2 games left in the season. That's been an issue. And throughout this season, you've been one of the better offenses in just in terms of points per game in the NFL. Now, you might look at it and say, with these weapons, you should be even better than what you've been. Being higher than, I think, 3rd is the highest they were this season. You could certainly make that argument. that with the talent they've had, they should be even better. And that Brian Johnson is the only difference from last year to this year, and that's something that the Eagles need to improve upon. Their play calling and their play caller in Brian Johnson. If the communication is off, though, between their wide receivers, between the receivers and their quarterback, then guess what's going to happen a lot of the times? Well, what has happened a lot of the times? Turnovers. And they're all not just Jalen Hurts misfires where, oh, yeah, that ball got away. It's bad reads. It's not knowing where your receiver's going to be. That's an issue. The Dallas got an interception, not an example of this. They were asked about it yesterday. Brian Johnson was asked about it yesterday and just said this is one of those unfortunate things in football. The guy slipped. It was just like that. Would have been a completion. Then all of a sudden, your guy disappears, and it goes right to the defensive back. Cook made a great play on it. He was there, Johnny on the spot for that opportunity. He took it to the house, and that was that. But there have been plenty of other examples this season where you look at it and you go, that just doesn't, like, what was Jalen Hurts throwing to there? Did he think he was going to have a receiver there based on what he was what he was checking to? If Devontae Smith is having an issue with that, and he's your 1A receiver, he's one of your 1,000-yard receivers in back-to-back seasons along with A.J. Brown, that's pretty impressive. And you're not on the same page right now in Week 17, going into Week 17 in the season with one more game to go and the playoffs lurking? That doesn't seem great. That does not seem great. That does not seem great at all. So let's all hope that they get that on the same page at some point, and maybe that'll lead to less turnovers. They get that corrected, all of a sudden you go into the postseason, you're going to be feeling a little bit better about yourself with actually having good communication with your receivers. The other thing that came up, yes, was the run the ball chance, and in the second half, those chants started up. Later in the press conference, Brian Johnson was asked about whether or not they went to silent count because of the run the ball chant or just the crowd being crazy at Lincoln Financial Field, and he said no. We went to silent count at certain times simply because we have some plays that we use silent count for. It had nothing to do with the atmosphere, the environment. Fans weren't making some kind of mistake. I will say it is odd when a hometown crowd is making noise while the offense is on the field. Let me take a sharp right turn here for a second. I did a PA announcing once for the Philadelphia Soul. They asked me to fill in, okay? I forget who it was. Anyway, they asked me to fill in. Oh, it was Vinny the Crumb, my Vinny. And they asked me to fill in once because Vinny had to be out of town. And I did it. And I was coming from a wings background. We were just getting the crowd into it all the time. And the offense is on the field for the Soul. And I remember the Soul. And I said, hey, let's just make some noise, blah, 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 blah. And then I hear in my headset from the game day producer, in his podcast voice, Mark, we're quiet when the offense is on the field. Oh, that doesn't sound like arena football to me, but okay, I'll play by your rules. So what I'm saying is, if the arena football crowd is silent, then maybe the NFL crowd should be silent as well. Just saying is all. So for me, I always like when it's quiet. Always like when it's quiet. There have been quarterbacks, Peyton Manning is one of them, that have game planned for that raucous road crowd, where one of the reasons Peyton Manning would like to go hurry up so much on the road was because when he goes hurry up, it takes the crowd out of the game faster. He said if a fan is in the stands, he's game planning for the fans. He goes, and this isn't just Philadelphia, this is wherever Peyton Manning will play. He would say that if I go hurry up, that means the fan has to hurry up and drink their beer, have their hot dog, take a handful of popcorn, whatever. If I go hurry up, then that makes them choose between eating and drinking and then cheering and booing, whatever the case may be. So he would say, if I just run regular offense, then they'll make all that noise, and then they stop and they huddle, and then the opposing crowd will take a bite of whatever they have, take a drink of whatever they have, and then they're right back to booing and cheering, whatever the case may be. But if he runs hurry up, it doesn't give them time to do that. They have to force it in there. So he's like, all right, if I was a fan, what would I be doing? This is what I'd be doing, so this is how I'm going to plan against it. To give them less time to be noisy while I'm at work. Like, that's what he would do. And that's pretty brilliant, if you ask me. Lincoln Financial Field is always going to be a raucous environment for the opponent. I don't think we need to make it any harder on the offense as it is. At this point in the season, I feel like it's a weird thing that narrative even came up. But yeah, Brian Johnson, the guy who's actually calling the plays, the guys who has the direct communication to his quarterback, it's a non-issue. I know that story has been started. According to the guy actually trying to call the plays, it's a non-issue. And Jalen Hurts wasn't even asked about it during his press conference 2 days ago now. So these things just come up, and I don't know why, but I'm just giving you the information so you can make your own judgment. As far as running the football, this was the running the football chance. Brian Johnson did hear it, and he doesn't say it was silly, but he kind of implies that it's silly. Take a listen.
What did I make of it? I'm just trying to call the game, man. You know, like at that point it was it 1st and 20, and then it was 2nd and 20, and so you know, it was interesting. Like sometimes you call some of these RPOs, right, and based on the defense that you get presented, you know, it could be a run, it could be a pass. So, you know, very rarely are we in situations where we're only calling run, we're only calling pass, we're only calling screen. You know, so like these plays have a bunch of different options, and they can unfold a bunch of different ways based on what you're getting defensively. So, you know, at that point, like, you know, I think it's really important when you think of it like in the short term of, okay, what is the best way to get the first down in that scenario, right? So you're calling it trying to get a first down, and sometimes there's two schools of thought, right? Sometimes you can say, all right, let's play for a 3rd down. There's other times where you can say it might be better to try to get the first down on 1st or 2nd down. And you know, I think when you call the game and you kind of have that mindset and you're looking at it from that vantage point, I don't know if everybody else would be looking at it from that vantage point. But, you know, I think if you look at it, some of the top offenses in the league, like a lot of those guys get first downs on 1st and 2nd down. And, you know, fortunately we are a phenomenal 3rd down team. And, you know, we have that at our disposal. But, you know, sometimes you play situations differently.
When did you?
Yeah, definitely. That is the nails on a chalkboard to me when I hear an offensive play caller, a head coach, whoever the person is calling the plays, describe the RPO as their run play that gets checked out. So what's the percentage there that you actually run the ball if your quarterback can check out of the play in general, or your quarterback is going to have the option of throwing? So you have, what, a 1 in 3 chance of actually running the football there? So let's say you have a situation that you did in the 3rd quarter against the Giants where I believe you had 7 consecutive pass plays. You kind of need a run at some point in there just to keep the offense guessing, just keep the defense guessing about what your offense is going to do. You know, not be predictable. It doesn't make any sense. And we've heard it before with Shane Steichen here. We've heard it from Nick Sirianni with him and Shane Steichen working together. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. And they've both, Steichen when he was here and Nick Sirianni as the head coach, has acknowledged, yeah, maybe we just need to run the football. Maybe we just need, yeah, the RPOs kind of thing. And then a little while goes on, he goes, yeah, maybe we just need to run the football. It's so obvious to literally a stadium of people chanting, run the football. Now, the part that I think he's alluding to that's silly is the fact that they were, it was 1st and 20, and people were saying, run the football. Either way, the RPO game, I don't want to hear about when it comes to running the ball, because the other things that could happen that I don't want to happen is your quarterback could run the football. I don't mind it every once in a while, but if that's going to be one of the things you're relying on, don't like it. I'd rather give the ball to DeAndre Swift, who's about to get another 1,000-yard season or a 1,000-yard season. I'd rather that happen than anything else. And the Eagles just seem to be morally opposed to doing it. Which brings me to the 5 things I'm going to be looking at in this game. While I'm on the subject, I'm just going to go with the number 2 thing on my list. I'm going to work around a little bit here. But for me, the second most important thing in this game is going to be running the football. Wait till you hear number 1. The second most important thing is going to be running the football in this. You know why? If you haven't heard it by now, you're going to hear it a lot by Sunday at 1 o'clock. The Arizona Cardinals, Jonathan Gannon's defense, is the worst team in the NFL at stopping the run. They allow 147 yards per game on the ground. What the hell? It's pretty terrible. You have DeAndre Swift. You have this offensive line. Yes, you have Jalen Hurts. Running the football should be a very easy thing. Now, running the football here is the obvious thing to do. And one of the things that I think it's so important in this game is the number one reason, or the number one thing I'm going to be looking at in this game. Number 2 is running the football. Number 1 is coaching. Giving you the top 2 out of the gate here, folks. I know, I'm a wild man. Number 1 is coaching. Jonathan Gannon, as I've been saying for weeks, is the worst person to face when your team is predictable, when the Eagles are predictable, because there is no one in the NFL that knows the Philadelphia Eagles better than Jonathan Gannon, for obvious reasons. Spent 2 seasons here as a defensive coordinator, spent 2 seasons playing against or coaching against Jalen Hurts in practice. Worst person to face this week is Jonathan Gannon. If you're predictable, he's going to capitalize on that, just like any team in the NFL would. You don't even have to be more talented. I know what's coming? All right, let's just blow that up. You know what he's not going to be expecting most likely? You to actually run the football. So running the football would go and help the idea that coaching is going to have a huge influence on this game, both for Jonathan Gannon and predictability, the other for the Eagles and Nick Sirianni and Brian Johnson calling plays. Run the ball. You can run the ball against the worst team in the NFL at stopping the run. If there was ever a game to commit to the run, this is a game to do it. Don't outthink yourself. Don't go, no. Because of the worst, they're going to expect that we're going to run, so we're going to pass. That brings me to my other points here. Number 3, Jalen Hurts. If Jalen Hurts has to throw the ball more than like 25 times in this game, it's going to be terrible. All right? It's going to be terrible. That's the number I'm going to put on attempts. Not completions, attempts for Jalen Hurts in this game. He should be able to cook this secondary. Yes, they got some talented players, blah, 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 okay? However, when it comes to this Eagles offense taking on this defense, A.J. Brown, maybe he just wants to let his play do the talking. You look at this defense here by the Arizona Cardinals. They allow the second highest passer rating in the entire NFL, 101.9. That's not great. They also allow the second highest completion percentage by opposing quarterbacks. If this is a game that Jalen Hurts doesn't cook, if this is a game where the entire offense doesn't cook, and by the way, just to give you these numbers one more time from yesterday, the second highest points allowed in the league at 26.9, and the 6th most yards allowed in the league, Jonathan Gannon's defense, at 363 yards per game, which is exactly what the Eagles average. This should be a blowout. The only thing that scares me is the number one thing, coaching. When it comes to Jonathan Gannon and the Eagles being predictable and the Eagles then not committing to the run. Yeah, the only thing. But the third thing I'm going to be looking at in this game, without question, is for Jalen Hurts to eat. To have a very efficient game. Low numbers. I don't need a 300-yard passing game. I don't need a 275-yard passing game. I'll go for 230. Give me 230, Jalen Hurts. Give me 230 while you're 19 of 25 in your completions. Give me that. And A.J. Brown, if you're going to let your play do the talking, like I said, this is a damn good week to do it against this passing defense. Devontae Smith, you want to talk about how you're not satisfied? Look, I don't think a win against the Cardinals is going to satisfy you. I don't think going into the game, even knowing that you have a chance to lock up the division title, is going to satisfy you. You got to play to the standard. And that's one of the things Devontae Smith was actually talking about yesterday, was playing to the standard, and still how he's not satisfied. How he's 11-4, but he all but said that they're lucky to be 11-4. You can't continue to play games that close against inferior opponents. It's not going to take you very far this season. It's taking you to 11-4. It's taking you to 11-4. The question is, can it make you 2-0 or 3-0 in the playoffs? That's the bigger question. That's the bigger deal in that sense. So 1, coaching. 2, run the damn football. 3, Jalen Hurts got to eat. 4, Kyler Murray. Contain Kyler Murray. Extremely athletic quarterback that does not escape sacks this season like he has in previous years. This year, he's been sacked at least twice in every game he has played this season. He's coming off one of his best games, by the way, against the Bears. Take that for what you will. But he's been sacked at least twice in every game he has started this season, which is 6. Don't allow him to get in any kind of running opportunity. Don't allow him to scramble. I'm not saying you need a quarterback spy. I'm not saying any of that. But there are going to be plays where this Eagles defense has things locked down, and Kyler Murray is just going to skimper and scamper, and he's going to be able to run for a first down. He's going to get a 10-yard, 15, 20-yard gain, and we're all going to be left banging our heads against the turf going, what the hell is going on here? It's going to suck. But I don't think it's going to be nearly enough for this Arizona Cardinals team to beat the Eagles. The closer I get to this game, the only thing that still scares me, that is in the back of my head at least, is the idea that the Eagles are facing their former defensive coordinator, and that is a major X factor. Everything on paper says that the Eagles should dominate this game, that the Eagles will win this game. The Eagles will put up numbers and win comfortably. But from what the way they play the Giants, a divisional opponent, seems eerily similar to the way that they could play this game against the Arizona Cardinals. And Nick Sirianni, I thought, made a great point earlier in the week when he talked about how facing Jonathan Gannon is very similar to having a divisional opponent. It's a divisional game because you know each other so well. You might not know the players as well. You faced Arizona last year. You're facing your former defensive coordinator, so there is that type of familiarity. So for me, I think that's a great point made by Nick Sirianni. Regardless, the talent should win out here. Nick Sirianni, my thing is that Nick Sirianni doesn't know Jonathan Gannon as well as what Jonathan Gannon knows Nick Sirianni. The reason being is if you're the defensive coordinator of the Eagles, you got to call plays and design your defense in a way that the Eagles see fit. That's not all Nick Sirianni and a huge influence on the defense. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the way the Eagles like their defenses to run is different than what a lot of maybe defensive coordinators would do if they just had final say over the way things are run. Like, a head coach in Arizona. They're doing things different. Jonathan Gannon is doing things differently than he's doing here in Philadelphia. So for Nick Sirianni, the predictability factor, it does not go in his favor in that regard. It definitely goes in the favor of Jonathan Gannon. So that's why that number one thing is coaching. Looking in this game and coaching. The fifth thing that I'm going to be looking at in this game is starting fast. If you watched the Thursday Night Football game last night between the Jets and the Browns, both teams started out fast. 3 touchdowns, bang, bang, bang. Just like that out of the gate. Joe Flacco continues to be on fire. But I just need to see start fast, start furious, control the game from jump. Don't give the defense a lot of time on the field. Dominate time of possession in this game. That's really what I'm going to be looking at here. The other thing on the other side of it, if there was an honorable mention, it really does lead into coaching, the number one thing in this game. I need to see that exotic play that I haven't seen yet. I need to see something where you're lining up and I go, oh, what the hell's this? Haven't seen this formation before. Oh, they're doing that. Oh, damn. All right, a little creativity. Way to go, boys. That's what I need to see in this game. That made me feel a lot better about the Eagles actually locking up this game, locking up the division, and then locking up the division either this week or next week. And then potentially even the number one spot. Those are the things I'm going to be looking forward to in this game. As far as your injury report, this is your injury report from yesterday if you haven't seen it yet. Darius Slay, the only one that did not participate. Zach Cunningham, Nicholas Morrow. Morrow's got the ab issue. Cunningham's still dealing with the knee issue. Both limited participants in practice yesterday with the rain in the Delaware Valley. The Eagles practiced in the bubble. Landon Dickerson dealing with that thumb issue. He was a full participant. And Avonte Maddox is still dealing with that pec that had him out. He's a full participant yesterday as well. I would have Avonte Maddox play. I know some people wouldn't have him play. I would have him absolutely play in this game. Because it's not just about being healthy for the postseason. It's about being in game shape during the postseason. I mean, we've seen guys, whether it was Kevin Byard, Kevin Byard was playing at least, and Zach Cunningham, whoever the case is, you need guys to play in games before the games that really, 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 really matter in the postseason to get that game shape back under their belt. To feel like, all right, I've been back in the swing of things, let's go. I feel like you need guys out there that have those plays under their belt when they haven't played since, like week 1, for instance. You need those guys out there ready to ball. And Avonte Maddox might not be in that mode just yet. So I'll cross my fingers and see if that actually happens. But I would absolutely play him in this game, or at least I'd play him next week. If he's not 100% ready to go this week, I would absolutely play him next week. Get one game under his belt before you get into that postseason. That's the way I would look at it. As far as the rest of the NFL goes, the games we're going to be paying attention to. So obviously Arizona plays at Philly on Sunday. San Francisco is at Washington at 1 o'clock, same time on Sunday. That's a big game that we're going to be paying attention to. And then the Cowboys and Detroit Lions, they kick off as part of ESPN, ABC, ESPN Plus coverage of Saturday night. It's going to be Monday Night Football broadcast, but it's going to be Saturday night, 8:15, Detroit at Dallas. As we know, Dallas is just pretty much unstoppable at home. 7-0 this season at home. They've won their last 15 consecutive games at home. I think I mentioned earlier in the week, the last time they lost a game was to Tom Brady. So it's a little bit different. Dallas going for 16 straight wins at home. I do have Dallas winning that game. Detroit, I think will throw a lot at him, but ultimately I think Dallas at home is just one hell of a tall order. I'm looking at it right now. ESPN is giving a probability of 70%. 70% chance to win the game. Dallas is a 5.5 point favorite to win with a 52.5 over under. Holy Stromboli. This is going to be a fun one. This is going to be a fun one to watch. I mean, obviously look, I know the question always comes up with people talking about, can you root for Dallas? I don't know why this is a thing. You never root for Dallas. You root for the best outcome for the Eagles. You never even pull for Dallas, which is what I would call the second in command to rooting for. You pull for Dallas. No. What? I root for the best scenario for the Philadelphia Eagles. If that's the Dallas Cowboys winning, that's just a quinky dink. I don't give a damn. I always want them to lose. But if it benefits the Eagles in a better way that they win, then I'll take it. But I'm never going like, oh, come on, man. You're not like, oh, come on, Parsons, get through the line. No, you're not like, oh, find CeeDee Lamb down the field, unless he's on your fantasy team. You're never like that. Old tricks of the business. Can you root for the Cowboys? No, not a chance. You know what I can do? I can tell you guys that if you want to go to a game, you should use the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app to your phone right now and check out all the things that Game Time is offering and use promo code Farzy. That's promo code Farzy for $20 off your first purchase. Now, what do you want to do? You want to go to a game? Game Time app's got you. You want to go to a big event? Game Time app's got you. You want to go to a comedy show, theater, whatever the case may be? Game Time app has got you. And the Game Time guarantee means that you'll get the best price and find the tickets that you want. And if you don't, you get the tickets in the same section and row. You find them in another place for less. The Game Time guarantee will credit you 110% of the difference. So if you're on Game Time and you start hopping around, trying to shop around a little bit here, which is your right. It's your right to do it. Game Time just like, oh, you found better seats. You found those seats for 110 for less money. 110% of the difference. Game Time app. Check out the Game Time app. They buy and sell tickets. They are fantastic. Sell the view of your seat. You can see the view of your seat, by the way, before you buy, so you know exactly what you're getting when you arrive. They also have all-in price that show your total up front, so you're not getting a great deal before you check out. So you know you're getting a great deal before you check out, rather. They're easy to find and buy the tickets that you want in Game Time. They are a trustworthy app that you can feel confident and you can feel comfortable buying from. GameTime.co. That's GameTime.co. Download the GameTime app to your phone right now for last-minute tickets, flash deals, zone deals, easy to find and buy tickets for every event in your area. You can view the seats from the venue and you get the lowest price guarantee, even with cancellation protection and job loss protection. So once again, download the Game Time app to your phone. Use promo code Farzy after you create an account, and you use a $20 off. $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem it with promo code Farzy, F-A-R-Z-Y, for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. The new year is coming. This is the final show of the 2023 year. Make sure you're well kept for 2024. With the great people of Manscaped, where you can get 20% off and free shipping with promo code Farzy20. That's Farzy20. when you go to Manscaped. Step into 2024 with confidence thanks to Manscaped, where resolutions are met and hairs are neatly kept. As the new year approaches, why not make self-improvement a breeze by keeping your body well-groomed? Introducing Manscaped's Performance Package 5.0 Ultra, the ultimate all-inclusive kit designed to help you feel fresh cut and confident as you should. Featuring the Powerhouse Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, this next-generation trimmer ensures precision and ease when tackling your thickest hairs and toughest hairs. So, kick off 2024 with a trim above the rest. Use promo code FARZY20 at manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping. Performance Package 5.0 Ultra. It's here, and let me tell you, it's absolutely futuristic with its tendencies. It includes the bundle with brand new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, the Weed Whacker 2.0 ear and nose hair trimmer, and essential aftercare products like the Crop Soother Ball Aftershave Lotion and Crop Preserver. That's right, Crop Preserver. And how about anti-chafing ball deodorant and 2 great gifts that come along with it. So check it out, manscaped.com, promo code FARZY, 20% off and free shipping. How about the great people at MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Want to bet on sports? They got you. Want to bet on TV? Favorite TV episodes? You can bet on those. You want to bet on politics? All at MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Take advantage of all they have to offer when you use promo code FARZY for up to $1,000 redeemable cash bonus at MyBookie, mybookie.ag. How about PHL Sports Nation, Philadelphia Sports Nation, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs. That's phlsportsnation.com. Let's get to the chat check here today. See how you beautiful people are doing. Let's see here. Sean, how you doing? Good morning. April. That's one thing JG learned, at least he picked up on it while he was here. Don't give bulletin board material to the other team. Hell yeah. T-Bro, yeah, I don't know why it was saying live at, well, I think I know why it was saying live at 8:15. It didn't give me an option. Didn't give me an option to pump it up there. Scott was gone. AJ is pissed at the media, has nothing to do with targets. Yeah, could very well be. Could very well be. 13-4, win the division, number 1 seed, go Birds. King Pooty TV. Why am I not putting these up? Sorry, guys. King Pooty TV, 13-4. I'll take it. Jason A. You know what, Jason? You just reminded me here. Morning, Farzy. How about our Flyers? So hype. I'm just taking it in, man. I'm just taking it in with the orange and black because I expected nothing from this season. And I was like, just tank, get picks. Tank, don't spend any money, tank. And here they are, 19-11. By the way, for the casual Flyers fans, there's one thing I wanted to point out to them last night. Your goal scorers last night. Sean Walker. Okay? Sean Walker had a goal last night for the Flyers. There's a couple more. Who else was it? Oh, Hathaway. Garnet Hathaway came up with his 4th goal of the evening. That's cool. I feel like there was one more. Zamula. I heard some. I was like, huh? What? Anyway, Igor Zamula, his 2nd goal of the season. Both his goals have come against the Vancouver Canucks, by the way. Not too shabby. And when I say both his goals, I mean both goals he scored in his career. But Flyers got the win over the Vancouver Canucks, who were 23-10-3 on the season. They're pretty damn good. Are they still in first out west? Let me go. Let me break it down by conference here for the puck heads in the audience. Beep oh bop beep boop boop bop. Yeah, Vancouver. Yeah, first place team in the Western Conference. Second to only the Rangers in the NHL. Not too shabby. Actually, they're tied point-wise, so there you go. And Flyers, by the way, 42 points for the season. They're 4th in the Eastern Conference. What the hell is happening? This is insane! But that's good. Anyway, yeah, I'm excited about the orange and black. Jeffrey, what's going on? I blame Hertz regression on the economy. $50 million doesn't buy what it used to buy. Fair enough. April saying good morning to T-Bro and Sean. Sean saying good morning to everyone. Hello. Mihai, what's going on? Good morning. Last show for 2023. 2024 is going to be a title year. Have a great weekend. Happy New Year 2024. Hey, thank you, Mihai. Appreciate it. Sean Gillespie, run the football chance. Ignored because analytics say so. The number 2 seed is more achievable. Unfortunately, we need to root for Dallas or maybe hell, root for a tie. I can't root for a tie. Oh, good. Good God. As the great Merrill Reese once said, like kissing your sister, the Eagles tie the Bengals. Joe Flacco, best quarterback in the NFL. Not a lie. Not a lie right now. When is Slay returning? Playoffs. Maddox definitely needs to play to get ready for the playoffs. Daz, you and I are on the same thing. Maddox going to get some snaps. That's ridiculous. I agree. As he should. Okay. Beep, boop, bop, boop, 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 bop. The Philadelphia Flyers, says Pat Corcoran. What's going on? Yeah, there you go. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are wonderful, as per usual. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the show today. It's a quick one, I know, but I got to get running over to Fox. I know I should have started the show early, but all I got to say is it's the week between Christmas and New Year's, and I have no concept of time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You guys are great, as per usual. Once again, make sure you check out Philadelphia Sports Station, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience. My final prediction for Eagles Cardinals is going to be this. I'm going to go 31, Eagles 31, Cardinals 17. Be comfortable in the fourth quarter. That's what I'll say. Until then, Happy New Year. I wish you everything you want in life for your friends and your family. Lots of hugging and kissing and sweet dreams. See you next year, everybody. And yes, as always, go Birds.